So this is a midpoint I calculated. How I calculate this midpoint? First I need to know the number of bars and width of each bar. From that I can calculate the midpoint. Without calculating this I cannot calculate the midpoint. You guys are clear? So now I hope you guys are not having any challenge in terms of installation of this package. Anybody tried and faced the issue? No, it's a very easy to install. So this is a package. Now here it is a histogram, right? Say OK. Now look at this. Input range. Input range is nothing but the what data I need to plot. That is this. Yes or no, guys? So I'm clicking on this and selecting the entire data. Okay. Bin range. Bin range is nothing but the midpoints. That's what is the Excel is demanding. If you use another software, those are not going to ask this kind of thing. Only I need to give the, for example, Minitab. If I give this to Minitab, no need to create this midpoint and all. You guys are getting? So click on this and go there and give the midpoint. Okay. And select the labels. Why I need to select the labels? Because when I selected the data, A1 containing the label name. So here also label name. Don't do such mistakes like, I'm selecting the label here without label here. Don't do that. If you're selecting the label here, select the label here also. If you're not selecting the label here, no need to check this box. But as in this, I have selected the label. That's why check box. Output, where I want to find out the output. Let's say I want to store it here. Okay. Chart output. Okay. Say OK. Give the graph. You guys are understanding how this is calculated? Whatever. So how many data points are there between first interval? 2 data points. So instead of doing like this, I can do like this also. Just I copy paste it. But it is creating by default. Excel is always going to create more as a one label. But this more definitely part of this only. I can combine, yes or no? So instead of that, I'm making 6. Any question on this? Already I'm having here, but I don't want to use whatever available here. Now I can plot this, right? This is my x-axis. So instead of x-axis, I'm calling this as A, B, C. It is easy. Y, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So now these are the labels. Labels. Okay. Whatever. Let's not worry. So maybe I'm keeping this here. Count, right? Yes or no, guys? Yes, sir. F is missing. Let it miss. Not a problem. It's not good. So I can take this like this. Insert bar diagram. So A stands for this interval. B stands for this interval. Instead of like this, I can take this also. Someone open the mic, please close it. I can select these insert. I don't want these, right? No, I don't want these midpoints. I don't want. You guys are understanding it? Now I need to delete. This is also fine. Why I have not done this is maybe I need to, do it properly. If I delete this is not coming. Okay, sir. So you play with Excel so that you can, publish the x-axis properly. I'm not getting to that thing, but our aim is not to learn Excel. Okay, you learn. You guys are understanding what I'm saying? So if you go and how to change the label, x-axis labels and all, if you type in the Google, you'll get the answers. I'm not going to get into that details. But instead of doing all these things, I can use this itself, right? You guys are understanding what I'm saying? I can use this itself, now. Why I need to really worry about and do all those things, massaging. Instead of using all these things, I can use this graph. Make sense, guys? Okay, let me take this graph and understand a little bit what this is saying. Okay. What this is saying, before this, let me do some more modification. I'm adding the labels also. Add labels. So what does it mean? In each interval, how many people are there? I've taken the graph as it is. Now let us understand this graph a little bit more. Which interval is containing more majority of the people? That is this. Yes or no? Yes, what is this interval if you go and look at? (169), huh? Around 168 to 172 majority of the people are there. M&D. So can I say by looking at this graph, around 36%, because 100 observations, no? Around 36% of the people are going to fall anywhere between 168 to 173. Makes sense? What is this? Let us calculate the average. Average of the data which I collected. Why? This is a sample only, na? So that's why I called this as an average. Where is my average? Around 170. So 170 is falling anywhere between these. So what is average indirectly? Which most of the people having that height? You guys are understanding? What is average? Where the most of the people are falling. That is average. All are with me? Guys, what is average? The formula is not so important. The interpretation is more important. Whenever I say average, that is the most of the time, that's what is happening. That will come an average. All are with me? So average is coming around this. Okay. So by looking at the histogram, can I find out which height most of the people are having? Okay. Okay. By looking at this histogram, I can find out what is my split of the data. Split of the data is nothing but what is the minimum, what is the maximum. Can I find out? M&D. So third one, I'm writing here. It provides central tendency, dispersion of the data. Agree? I mean, split of the data. What is the minimum? What is the maximum? That is also called dispersion. We will get into these details afterwards. And shape of the data. What is the meaning of the shape? We'll talk in detail afterwards. But what I'm trying to say, what is the central tendency? Center. Where is my most of the data concentrated? What is my center of the data? This is called central tendency. All are with me? So where is my central tendency here? By looking at this. What is the importance of this average? What is the importance of this average? Most of the times we refer to average. For example, let's take a simple example. Let's say I have a friend, okay, and it is like this. I'm not having a friend. 3 people are working in office, okay, and one other person is searching for another person. Let's say, what's your name? Subhash. Shiva. Okay. Shiva, myself, Subhash are working in office. Shiva and Subhash are friends. Okay. Let's say I am searching for Subhash. I went to his floor in the office. I searched for him. I did not find him. I'll go and ask Shiva. Okay. So I asked him when he's going to come. He may say, what is the answer I am going to get? Most of the times, at what time he used to reach to the office, that time he is going to say indirectly what he is referring. Average only. So most of the times what is happening is nothing but what? Average. Hemandi? Yes, sir. So most of the times what we use is the average. 1 or 2 times maybe he is not coming in between 8 to 9 o'clock. Maybe he came at 11 o'clock, but we are ignoring that. All are with me? So central tendency, where is my most of the data concentrated, which is nothing but which time he is coming most of the times. That's what is concentration. That is nothing but the central tendency. We will discuss the central tendency in great depth. Let's not worry about it. Just I am giving an idea. Okay. What is this? Dispersion. Dispersion is nothing but looking at this data, I can find out the minimum and maximum value. Yes or no? Yes, sir. And what is the shape of the data and all? I'll talk in the detail afterwards. Let's not worry about it. But what is the use of this? Another use. Let me talk about simple applications of this. It is like this. Let's say there are 2 authors. They have written some books in the past. They have written some books in the past. Let's say author 1 written 10 books, author 2 also written 20 books. Okay. There is one more new book came, they found. These are old authors, ancient authors. Okay. The people are having a community, fans, right? Author 1 fans, author 2 fans. So there is one new book found. This archaeology department or whatever it is. Is the central tendency similar to average? Yes, but we are going to learn in detail. Let's not worry about it. Even you are not understood, that's okay. But one thing what you need to understand is average is most of the times what is happening is the average in a simple English. Yeah. Where am I? Yeah. So there is one book they found, and this archaeology department is not sure who has written this book, but they are sure that one of this person only written. Now they want to find who has written this book. How can you do that? I do like this. Histogram is a very, histogram is the tool which is going to solve this problem. How it is going to solve this problem? Let us see. Author 1 already has written books. I'll take 1 or 2 books. I collect the data. What data I am going to collect? See, most of the times, everyone is having their own vocabulary. The way they use the words is having its own pattern. Yes or no? Yes, sir. For example, when I am teaching, I'll check with yes or no, yes or no. You find most of the times. Right? So that's what is my, pillars. I use that word a lot. Getting it? Okay. Similarly, author 1 is having his own vocabulary. The way he is writing styling not going to change book to book. He is having some vocabulary. He is going to make use of that vocabulary to write any book. Similarly, author 2 also having his own vocabulary. So I take one book from which I am sure that is written by author 1, and another book I am sure that is written by author 2, and I calculate how many times each word he used. For example, love, how many times he used in the entire book. Hate, how many times. Like, how many times. Kill, how many times. Like that I collect the data. All are with me. Then I plot the histogram. Can I do that? It's a categorical data, right?
Yes.
How many like 5 times he used, hate 13 times he used, like that. I construct a histogram. Similarly for author 2 also, I do the same. Now the new book also I am going to do the same. And which that book is going to resemble one of these histogram? Yemandi?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So I'll say that is written by that author. Over. Make sense? Make sense? So this what is called text analytics or unstructured data analysis. Unstructured data. So here book is the unstructured. You guys are getting? We are going to deal, we are going to learn more about the unstructured in the future, but let's not worry about it. But what I'm trying to say is, histogram is a wonderful tool. It is going to give that, it is going to characterize the behavior of that person. It is characterizing that person the way he has written the book, right? So that's what is the meaning of the characterization. Crude usage of the histogram. We are going to learn very advanced techniques of solving such problems. But you guys are able to digest what I'm saying. I'm learning histogram. It is like a beautiful picture. Don't think like that. It is a blue color. It is not. Histogram not meant for that. It is having a purpose. You guys are clear? So what I'm trying to say is, histogram is going to characterize the data. It is a bar diagram. Then what is the basic difference between the histogram and the bar diagram is? It is like this. Strictly speaking, these bars it should be like this, because end of one bar is starting of another bar. Yes or no? There should not be any gap. Why? The data is a continuous, right? Is it a continuous or not? No. Hope you guys are clear. What is the meaning of the continuous now? It's a continuous. It is a discrete. I need to have this kind of. So bar diagram meant for discrete.
Yes.
There the graph. But in user practice, what I do, I always give this gap. So I am going to treat histogram and bar diagram both are same for me, because it's very, very difficult to read, right? You guys are understanding? Very powerful. And now going forward, I may not draw these bars. Let me do that for you. I'll take the midpoint of this, all midpoints. I'll connect all these midpoints with a sharp, smooth curve. Maybe I can ignore one or two, but overall, what is the shape it is looking like? Like this? Yemandi? So going forward, I am not going to draw the bars. If I say like this, what is the meaning of this? Inside there are some bars, I construct the histogram and I dotted the midpoints, I got this curve. All are with me? This curve is called frequency distribution curve. distribution curve. Very, very important. Frequency distribution curve. How the frequencies are distributed for each. What is the meaning of this? Frequency distribution curve. How the frequencies is nothing but what? Number of times what happened, right? Yeah. How the frequencies are allocated to each. Yes or no? This is very, 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 very important curve. We are going to use this maybe 1 lakh times in the future. So you can understand the importance of the histogram. Where it is? This one? Perfect, guys? Okay. Am I going to get the same number of bars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because root n is the guideline. There are some other formulas also to calculate the number of bars. Different softwares may use different formula. But more or less, it is going to look like the same. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Friends, the curve is going to look like the same, more or less. That's more important than number of bars. This curve is more important than number of bars. All are getting? Yeah. So this is a mini tab. What is there to teach? But you need to understand, oh, but look at this, where it is falling. Around 170 only. The average. It is falling around 170. That's what is more important. Spread of the data around 160 to 180. That is spread of the data. That's what it is coming. Okay. So it is having this kind of shape. Shape is nothing but this. We are going to deal in detail. Let's not worry for the time. Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. We'll come back to this again, histogram. But before that, I need some more knowledge. The knowledge is probability. Probability. What is the probability? I'm not going to get into the textbook definition. Okay. But before understanding the probability, let us understand a little bit of jargon of the probability. One is a random experiment. What is that? A random experiment. What is this random experiment? Let me take a simple example so that you understand what I'm trying to say. Forget about this random experiment. The word experiment. Okay. What is this experiment? Throwing a die. Throwing a is the experiment. You are going to get some results. Yes or no?
Yes.
What are the results? Possible results? What are the possible results? I am calling those as outcomes. Possible results. What are the things? I may get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Agree? And sample space. What is this sample space? This is represented by S or omega in few books and all. You can use whatever you want. If I write all the possible outcomes in a set form, that is called sample space. So it is going to contain all the possible outcomes. All with me? All with me, guys? Event. Event is what you want to bet. What you want to bet. Let's say I want to bet on 1. You say event? I want to bet on 1 as well as the 2. That's also another event. You guys are understanding? Friends, what you want bet is the event. So this event, it is a subset of sample space. What is the meaning of this? It is a subset of sample space. Let's say E1, event 1. I want to bet on, let's say, 1 and 2. This 1 and 2 is a subset of my sample space or not? Emandi? Whatever you want to bet, definitely those is a subset of my sample space only. Or you want to bet on some tail or head. Do you do that? No, no. So always the event is a subset of your sample space. For example, I can write another event as well. 2, 6. I want bet on 2. Another event, E3, only one element. You guys are getting?
Yes.
Friends? You guys are getting? So when you win, for example, you bet on 1 and 2. Now 2 came. You say that you won the match or not? Or you won that particular game or not? So any of the element is occurring, then you say that event occurred. When you are going to say the event occurred, any of the element of the event is happening, then I say the event happened. You guys are clear?
Yes.
You guys are clear?
Yes.
Online. Let me repeat. When I am going to say the event happened, any of the element of that particular event is happening, I say that event occurred. When I say event occurred, question. When I say the event occurred, any of the element of event happened, then I say the event E occurred. Agree? Occurred spelling? I don't know. You check it. You guys are clear? Okay. Now, what is the probability of that particular event? Means what? Probability of 3, getting a 3 when someone is throwing a die. What is the probability of getting a? I'm not getting to the details. Actually, most of the books they write like this. What is this? Outcome or the event? Event always in a set form. Event always in a set form. This outcome, right? You guys are understanding? Okay. Someone writes like this, but we calculate the probability always for the events, not for outcomes. So strictly speaking, Yes or no? It should be like that. But we are lazy people, that's the reason we'll write like this. If this is okay? If this is okay? So what is the definition of this? Probability of a particular event. Any event, it could be E1 or E2 or E3, whatever it is, equals to number of favorable elements to that event in sample space divided by number of elements in sample space. In simple language, how many are favoring your betting? Number of elements favoring your betting in the sample space divided by number of elements in the sample space. What is the meaning of this? Let's try to understand with a couple of examples. So these are the diamonds. How many red total cards? How many cards are there? 52 cards. In that, how many reds? 26. How many black? Again 26. How many in this hearts are 13. Diamonds also 13. This is what? Spades. I'm not a good at drawing. Yeah, this is fine. It's fine? No, it is coming other way. Yeah, this is fine. What is this? This is also 13. Another one also 13. Any question on this? Now, I want to bet on, so there is a deck of cards, there is a suite of cards, right? Now I want to draw one card. I want to draw one card. I want to bet on red card. I am going to draw it and I want to bet on red card. So what is the probability of getting a red card? I am writing like this. Probability of getting a red card. First, write the down one. How many are there in the sample space? How many elements are there? 52. How many are favorable? How many cards are in favor of my betting? 26. That's it. That is the probability. All with me? So there are 26 red cards are there. 26 divided by 52. What is this? Again, 26 divided by 52. What about this? How many cards are there? 52. How many are in favor of this? How many are in favor of this? 13. So 13 by, don't simplify as a 1 by 4. Don't do that. I know you guys are good at math, but don't do that. Especially in the, whenever you are doing the probability calculations, keep it as it is. What about this? Again, 13 by 52. Let us learn a little bit of sets also, so that we'll make it a little complex, the problems. Sets. What are these sets? Sets meaning you write 1, 2, 3, 4 is a one set. B is another set. Let's say 3, 4, 5, 6. And C is another set. And 7 and 8. Okay? Now, A union B. What is the meaning of this? I want to write all the elements which are there in A as well as in B. So what is the meaning of this? 1, 2, 3. Don't write the duplicates, distinct elements only. In set only we need to write the distinct elements. Whatever the intersection? Huh? Common. Which are the common? 3 and 4 are the common, right? What is the A intersection C? No. So no elements, you need to write like this. This also represented by 5. 5 means what? Null set. Okay? If A intersection C equals to null set, then A and C are called disjoint sets. Very, very important. Important. Where I'm going to use it? You are going to use a lot this definition. For example, you went to a bank, you applied for a loan. Are they going to give the loan or not? They may give, they may not give. But entire customers divided into 2 parts, right? What are those 2 parts? Who are going to be the defaulters? Who are going to pay the loans regularly? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Are there any common? If you belongs to the if you belongs to, let's say, going to pay the money, you're not part of the defaulter category? Yes or no? Yemandi. So these 2 sets are disjoint or not? These 2 sets are disjoint? Or a person going to be both the cases? No, either defaulter or is going to repay the money. You guys are clear? So a person is having a cancer, not having cancer. These are 2 disjoint. Or they are any 50-50%? No. Maybe identifying that person is having a cancer or not, maybe you confused. But God knows that whether that person is having a cancer or not, right? Your confusion is we are not interested in. Whatever God knows, we are interested in. You guys are clear? This is very, very important, this definition. So if A and C are, there is no common elements, then I am going to call this as a disjoint. Interesting? Okay. We'll connect all these definitions into the real world going forward. Let's not worry about for the time. Okay. This is good enough. Sometimes A intersection B, I'll write AB. What is the meaning of the AB? Which means A intersection B only. ఏమండి అర్థమవుతుందా? Let's come back. Okay, it's a logical end. Okay, let's solve some more problems. What is the probability of red diamond union red? Look at the graph and answer. First, what I need to do? Let me solve this problem once. 52. And how many are there? How many are there favoring this event? Red is the 36 and diamond union. Again, it will become the red only? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer? 26 by, you guys clear? You guys clear? Use the fundamental, don't be overconfident. Okay, I'm not going to give you any prize if you answer quickly. Next, black union diamond. What is this? What is this? Black union diamond. How many are there? I need to write the black ones as well as the diamonds. So this is 39 divided by 52. Yes or no, guys? Total. What is the probability of? Let me explain this. I'm calling these are the picture cards. What are these? K, Q, J, K, J, Q, K. I'm calling those are picture cards. A also I'm calling as a number. You guys are clear? A I'm calling as a number. So how many number cards are there? How many number cards are there? 40. So if I pick a number card, what is the answer? Easy, no probability. Let's make it a little complex. Probability of number intersection red. What is this? I want a number card, but what is that number? I don't want all. I want that is a red card as well. It should satisfy both the conditions, number as well as red card. Such kind of cards, how many are there? Number as well as red card, only 20. Emandi? So 20 by 52. What is this? Diamond, which is a picture card. What is this? First I need to write 52. Tell me. 3 by, because picture cards are only 3. J, Q, K. Probability of a red card union picture card intersection number. Let's make it more complex. What is this, guys? How many are there? Pictures, which is the numbers 0. Okay, this is a 5, right? I should not say 0, it's a 5. R union 5 is what? R only. So this is the 26 divided by 52. Easy or difficult? Easy. Let's make it probability of red intersection picture intersection diamond. What is this? What is this, guys? First, what is this? Picture, there is picture which is a diamond. How many are there? 3 cards are there, and red card which is a picture as well. This already, these 3 pictures only there, right? So red card in that, those 3 pictures already there. So, yes or no? Actually your entire database joins is going to work on this, right? No? Set theory only. The background story of your database is a set theory. Probability of black. Why I am not ignoring this black? black intersection diamond union picture. First, look at this. How many are there? How many are there? How many are there? Total, how many cards are there? It's not difficult, friends. First, look at how many are these. How many? Here, total 12 picture cards are there. And in that 12, 3 are already part of the diamonds. So how many diamonds left out? 10. 10 plus 12, 22. So these are 22 cards. But all those are in these 22 cards. How many black cards are there? Let me go and look at. I will bring this picture. Okay. Now delta union pictures. Oh, sorry, diamond union pictures. Diamond union pictures is nothing but this. How many cards I am getting? As well as this. Yes or no? Anyone is having a question on this, friends, online? Anyone is having a question on this? Okay. So total is a 13 plus 9. 13 plus 9, 22. And intersection with black cards. How many are there in this black card? 9 na? Oh, sorry, 6 na? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Any questions? Any questions? Probability of. Who is this person? Correct. Be careful why you are running. Huh? I'm not going to give you any prize. Think and answer. Because you should not have wrong impressions in your brain while learning. What is this? First look at this big set. How many are there? This entire thing, guys. This as well as this. 26. Intersection with the numbers. How many are there? Easy, right? Next, probability of picture intersection red. Now this will become easy. Tell me. Pictures intersection with red. How many picture cards which are red in color? That's what I'm asking, right? What is that? 6 by 52. Any doubts? Any doubts in these calculations? Any doubts in these calculations? Okay. Now, conditional probability. Whatever you guys learn, that's good enough. But before moving the conditional probability, let us calculate the probabilities for the problem which we solve. Now, I want to calculate the probability. If I pick one person, what is the chance that he is going to fall in this interval? What is the chance? Let me repeat the question. There are 100 people are there, 100 data points, no? So I'm going to pick a person. What is the chance that he is going to fall in this interval? What is this interval? Something, right? 170 is the midpoint. Some interval is there. What is that probability? 18 by 100. Agreed or not? Abhi karo. What is this probability? What is this probability? What is this probability? Yes or no? Very, very important. Agreed? If the probability is high, where my mean is going to fall or average is going to fall? No? You guys are getting? Wherever the probability is high, at that point, in that region, my average is going to fall. Make sense? Make sense? Make sense, guys? Okay. Now, I'm connecting this. I'm not interested in this red one now. I'm interested in, anyway, let's assume I'm connecting these probabilities. Instead of connecting the frequencies, I'm drawing this for the probabilities. This curve is called probability distribution curve. Very, 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 very important. Probability distribution curve. Very powerful, very important. Let us do some practice. Draw the probability curve . I'll come back to this conditional probability maybe afterwards. Question. Am I going very slow? Draw the probability curve for throwing a die. Whenever you want to draw the probability of curve, you need two things. Whenever, important, whenever we need to draw a probability curve, your machine learning, that learning, this learning, everything is about the probability curves only. I'm building the basics which are required to understand the advanced things. Okay? Whenever we need to draw a probability curve or probability distribution curve, strictly speaking, distribution curve, we need two things. 1. What are the different values of the outcomes? What are the different values here? When I'm tossing a 1, what are the different values are possible for my experiment? Agreed? Anna? What are the different values are possible for my experiment? 2. And its probabilities. And its probabilities. These two things are required to draw. For example, the height values. What are the different values it is going to take from the data? These are the values and corresponding probabilities. Agreed or not? Yemandi. So similarly, when I'm throwing a throwing a die, what are the values I may get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those on the x-axis. What is the probability of getting 1? 6 here, 1, right? What is the probability of getting 2? 1 by 6 only. Only 1, right? Yes or no? The favorable things are only 1. Similarly, dash probability of getting 6. How much is this? 1 by 6. Let us construct a probability curve. Let's say this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here on this axis probability. Agreed? This is, let's say, how much is this? 1 by 6. This is also 1 by 6. Agreed? So what is my, this is only the bar diagram. I am not interested in that. I am interested in what? Curve. So midpoints, let me draw in a different color. Hear me out, Sushma. Hear me out first. Just follow what I am teaching. This is a very important concept. Agreed? This is the probability distribution. Of what? Of throwing a die. Of. I am not going to write curve. Probability distribution simply. Probability distribution of agreed? Agreed or not? So this is also called uniform distribution. Why uniform distribution? All probabilities are equal, right? Hence, it is also called uniform distribution. Uniform distribution is a very, very powerful application. You guys heard about something called scratch cards? Scratch cards. Okay? the 16-digit number. Do you guys know what is the logic behind it? It's a uniform distribution only. I want to get numbers such that the probability is very, very less, but those are uniform. Means what? Let me put it like this. Scratch card is what? It is going to have a 16-digit thing. Yes or no? 16-digit scratch card. Your 8-tail, all those things, na? Okay. How those are going to create it? There is a theory called prime numbers. Even that prime numbers, they do it. Let's not get into that, but let me explain what is that scratch card, how that is. That number, can you guess? What is the number is going to be? Why? Not guessing means what? The probability of guessing is very, very less. Why? Why? There are so many numbers and you got only one number when you bought it. What is that probability? 1 divided by so many numbers. The probability is very, very less. Each number is going to have the same probability or any duplicates. Are you going to have any scratch card is going to, any 2 scratch cards are going to have the same number? No. So each one is a uniform. M&D. Is it not the uniform distribution? And the probability is very, very less of each number. 1 by, what is that sample space there? 16 digits. The total number of cards which is creating. You guys are getting or not? How many total number of cards? Do you know? We don't know. Let's say, some 10 crores. 1 divided by 10 crores. The probability of, if you want to guess, that probability is very, very less, right? See the probability and the real-time applications. Interesting, guys. But we are going to see a few things. But there is a method we can find out what is that number also. In Rajahmundry, one of the guy cracked that. In Rajahmundry, one of the person cracked. What is the numbers that 8-tail person is going to have on each? He sold at a very less price. 10 rupees ka 1 rupee. But still he make a lot of money, no? No? Yeah. You should make use of such kind of people knowledge. Seriously, I'm not joking. If you put that is intelligence, but we are going to, but let me answer this in a different way. These are only the, what I said, I need to take all the possible values and plot the thing, right? Now here, these are only the possible heights. There are some other possible heights also, right? Yes or no? But I am not plotting those. What does it mean? Their probabilities are near to 0 or very small. I can ignore, right? You guys are understanding. You guys are understanding, friends? It is like this. Now I want to plot the curve for 0 also. What is the meaning of this? You write 0, but that probability will become the 0. Here 7, probability 7. Yeah, 0. So at the time, what is my curve is going to look like? I may extend my curve like this side and this side. 0, na? Probability. Interesting, guys? Interesting? Now, by looking at this graph, can I look at the outliers also? If the probability is very, very less and at the corner, at the end, can I call those are also outliers by looking at the histogram? M&D. But I don't know from where I need to call the outliers. In box plot, there is a mark, right? If this value is greater than this, I call that as an outlier, or less than this, that's an outlier. If someone can give a mark like this, any value less than this, I call that as an outlier. Any value is greater than this, I call an outlier. Can I come with such kind of definition? Emandi? Yes, sir. Because the abnormal behavior, what is this? Sorry, you did not cover the curve 8 by 10 in the above. Is there any condition there? No, what I said, I need a smooth curve. I need a smooth curve. I ignore this. Why I need a smooth curve and all? In the future, you are going to understand. Let's not worry about the time for the time being. Okay? Because if I say, this is sample data, right? If I collect some other sample data, is the curve is going to be the same? Something different. At that time, it may be spiked, right? But majority of the curve is going to look like this. Emandi, you guys are understanding what I am saying? This is only the sample curve. If I collect another sample, maybe in that this may be coming a little high. At the time I will draw like this. This is sample curve. So try to have a smooth curve. Make sense? Okay. I forgot to, no. I thought of saying something, I forgot. What am I saying before the question? Sorry? Outliers, correct. So these outliers, if I can come up with these, what is the boundary of these as well. So this is if I can come up with a boundary of these, I can find out the outliers using the histogram as well. If something, what is abnormal? Abnormal is a very frequently happening or very less in frequency. Less in frequency means what? The probability of happening that particular instant is very less. It is going to fall where? This side or this side. Agree? So if the probability is coming very less, can I call that as an abnormal at the extreme ends? You guys are understanding what I'm saying? So by looking at the histogram also, I can find out the outliers. Now, what is the use of the box plot? I can find out using the outlier. But I need to have these kind of markers. I mean, deadlines or line of controls. How to calculate these line of controls we are going to learn. Let's not worry about it. But provided I can calculate these lines, which one I need to use? Do I need to use box plot or the histogram? You guys are getting the question. Which tool I need to use? Do I need to use the box plot or the histogram? Which is the best? Let me give let's say I'm having the data, 10 observations. Can you construct the histogram? It doesn't make any sense, right? It is like this. Why? Only 10 observations with less number of data, constructing the histogram doesn't make any sense. Why it is not going to make any sense? Let me give an example so that you understand. Let's take very small 1 cup of sand and throw on the floor. Do you see any shape? That is nothing but a very less number of observations. You take very large data and throw on the floor. Do you see a shape? The shape is more or less going to be like this? Yes or no? So if you are having very less data, you cannot see any pattern like this. Even you see the pattern, it is not going to give you more clarity. Emandi. So whenever you are having a very less data, better to go for what? Box plot. When you are having a large data, which is the best one? Go for the histogram. If you are using for large data also, if you are using a box plot, there is an overlap of the data points, right? So better to use what? Histogram. You guys are getting. So what is the deadline? If you are having a data points, at least 70 to 80 data points, 70 data points, go for the histogram. Less than that, better to go for the box plot. Who said this? Who said this? I am saying. It is not there in the books. Based on my practical experience, I am saying this statement. You can also follow the same. Who told me? My teacher taught me. I am saying this. You guys are getting? Guys, you guys are enjoying the discussion? I'm collecting everything, right? Whatever I discussed. Is there any formula to calculate outliers in the histogram? That's what I said. I'm going to discuss in the future. Let's not worry about for the timing. Okay. That's what I said. Huh? We are going to learn how to calculate this. Let's not worry about it. But for the timing, what my point is, let me go and write it. We can use the histogram to find out outliers also. Fourth, to find outliers. Makes sense? Makes sense? Is it interesting or becoming boring? Guys, we'll see all those things afterwards. There is a question. Let's do the box plot as well as the histogram and let's look two things together. That's what is your question? We will do that in the future. Let's not worry about now because I need some more understanding to do that step. What I'm saying is do the box plot as well as the histogram. I want to understand using both together. That's where I said I am going to revisit the box plot again, right? But to understand that, I need some more literature to understand. Can we calculate? Yeah, with this we'll stop. Okay, conditional probability. What is this conditional probability? Very, very powerful, important. This is how your mail system is going to work. Your mails. In the mail system, this is what they are going to use, conditional probability. How that is going to be useful, let us see after that. Let us understand the concept first. Okay, sir, getting? Now, Karu, Abhi, what is the meaning of the conditional probability? Probability of A, it's not divided by this called pipe P. What is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is probability of A given B. What is the meaning of this? Probability of A given B. What is the meaning of this? Let us take this example only and understand what is the meaning of this. It looks like a very theoretical. When I'm putting all these things to practical, you go mad. Okay? So here, knowing the theory is more important than doing the practical. Once you know the theory, automatically practical is nothing. There's nothing like a practical in data science. Only how much theory you know. You guys are understanding? So what is the meaning of this? Probability of diamond. I'm giving the red card. What is the meaning of this? I given how many cards? Only 26 cards. My sample space is now 52 or 26? 26. On that I want to calculate the probability. All are with me? You guys are clear? You guys are clear? So what is the meaning of this? Probability of diamond given red cards only. So I'm giving only red cards. From that you pick it. What is the chance that I am going to get a diamond? That's what I am asking. Now what is this probability will become? 26 only, no? 30. Yes or no? So what is this probability? 1/2. 50%. M&D. If I don't give this information, what is the probability will become? 13 by 52, which is 25%. So your predicting ability is going up or down when I have some information. You guys are understanding me? So giving some information, your predicting power is going to go up. It is like this. If I give some information about you, when you are going to get up, when you are going to sleep, what you are going to eat, how much money you are earning, all those information. If I give to someone, he can talk about you a little bit. If I don't give any information about you, can someone talk about you? You guys are understanding? That's what is the meaning of the given information. Probability of A given B. I'm giving some information about the B. Provided that information, I am asking to calculate the probability of another event A, right? M&D. So, whenever I am having some information about it, the way I talk about that event is with more clarity, right? You guys are getting, see, first you need to understand the intuition. Is this intuition is clear, guys? Friends, is the intuition is clear, everyone? Is the intuition, everyone has to respond. So if you are having some previous, in advance, first time information you are having, and I'm asking to calculate that probability, it is a conditional probability. What is the condition here? Given this information is the condition. I'm going to make use of that information to calculate this probability. This is called conditional probability. How your mail system is going to work. Now, based on the past information, see, whenever someone is sending a mail,